In this video, I'll be showing you some ZipWP tips and tricks that will fasten the way you create websites with ZipWP. Let's get started. The number one trick that you can use with ZipWP is the try.new domain. When you enter that domain, you will automatically get a ZipWP website created for you. If you don't have an account with ZipWP, that website that will be created will be available for about 30 minutes for you to test around things, even if you don't have an account with ZipWP. Even if you are using a private browser, you'll be able to enter that domain, try.new, and create a website using ZipWP. Now, if you have a ZipWP account like I do, once that website is created, just like now, in about 30 seconds, you will have that website created, and here is the access to that website. Just a normal WordPress website with posts, with media, with the option to look at the themes. You are able to add themes. You are able to look at the plugins, and this website is showing up over here. You can add a label to that website, because if you're already logged into your ZipWP account and you use the try.new option, the website comes without a label, but you can say, you give it a name, try new website. So it's basically a blank website at the moment. Now, when I click on the option, you see we have the 2024 theme. If you are using the free ZipWP account, you will not have this website as permanent, so it will be temporary, but also you will be only limited to create about 3 websites in your ZipWP account. So if you didn't know about that, please try it out in your browser and let me know what happens. The second tip I want to share in this video is the ability to create a website with already pre-installed themes and plugins. This option is termed as blueprints in ZipWP. So if you want to create a blueprint, or you want to look at blueprints, they are under the blueprint menu option right here in ZipWP. So I have already 3 blueprints, but what do you do if you want to create a blueprint under sites? So for instance, we created this website in one of the videos in this series, which is a Water 8 project in another language. So if I want to recreate this website, or I want to reuse this website in different versions, or share the link with other people to just reuse the same website to create things on top of it, I can create a blueprint of this website and give them a link to use that blueprint. And once they click on that link, they automatically be able to recreate this website, or the entire website, with all the settings, plugins, and themes. So to do that, we are going to come over here on the option to enable this as a blueprint. Click on the 3 dots, and we are going to say create a blueprint. And here it will ask us to give it a title, charity projects. And here you simply add a description of why you created that blueprint and what probably it can be used for. So here I say create blueprint, and you see I'm provided with a link over here, and this is the link that I can share with my team or anyone that I want to use this blueprint. I can disable this link. That means that if someone uses this link and they want to create a blueprint, they will not be able to. But if it's enabled, then they're able to use this blueprint link to create websites. So for instance, if I say delete over here, it will delete this blueprint. And if I say edit, it will take me back to the option to describe the project. Now, how about if you make updates to that blueprint? Well, let's go to blueprints, and you see we have our blueprint. Now, if you make updates on this blueprint by going to the admin dashboard of this website, and let me say install another plugin and then make changes to whatever you want, then those updates will not automatically be displayed in the blueprint, or they will not be automatically be reflected in the blueprint. So what you have to do in this case is to make sure that once you make those changes, come over here and say regenerate blueprint. By regenerating the blueprint, that will make the changes that you added in the admin of that blueprint be reflected in the blueprint link, or the link this person will be able to receive and replicate. So just like here, it says this action will synchronize all the latest changes from the Water 8 project links site to the blueprint. So I just say regenerate, and that means that now our blueprint has been updated. Now, if anyone uses this link, the blueprint link, to regenerate or to create a website, you will see here the number of times someone has used that link to create a new website. And if we go back to our websites, you see that that website is no longer listed in the sites, so it is only in the blueprints. Now, for instance, if I copy the blueprint link and come over here and just say, click on the blueprint link, and then now it will automatically create a copy of that exact website, and now you'll see it displayed in my sites in ZipWP. So here it is using the generated blueprint link, and then it is creating the website, doing the installations. There we go. So now it has created for me exact copy of that entire website. Now, when I come back here to my blueprints, I'm going to reload. You're going to see that the number of times that this blueprint has been used is now 2. Now, when I come here to sites, you'll see that we have a new copy of that exact website, which was, in this case, Bright Events, a custom site made with AI. Then the same over right here under sites, we have the same name of the website, and it is displayed in our sites list. We can do the same using our blueprint that we created. Copy this blueprint, come over here, paste the link. So now we have a copy of the blueprint website created over right here, and you see it's also in German, just like that website we created. And when I come back over here to the ZipWP blueprints, you will see that now this blueprint has been used 1 time. And if I go back here to the sites, you'll see that now we have a new website. It should be displaying here. We have this website called Water Aid Project, which is now a blueprint site. So in case you were wondering, how do I look at the logins of this blueprint website? You simply just come over here to the 3 dots, and you'll see there is an option that says login credentials. And here are the login credentials for that newly created copy of the blueprint website. So you can just copy these login details, provide them with anyone. So if you are provided with a blueprint link and you have made a copy of this blueprint and created the website in your ZipWP account, that's how you can find the login credentials to the website that has been created. So how about if you want to clone a website that is already existing in your ZipWP dashboard? So in this case, I have a list of websites in my ZipWP dashboard. What I do is come here to these 3 dots inside your ZipWP sites dashboard, click and say clone website. And here it will say you are about to clone the website called Neumannhof, which will create another copy of the website. So start. So installation and doing all the technical things. Awesome. Now we have a new website, which is a clone of Neumannhof, and it is the one up here that has been created with ZipWP. Here are the logins of the new website, or the new copy of this website that we created, and you can use them to access that website in the dashboard. So if I click over here, and this is the new tab of the newly created copy of that website, we can have a look at it. At the front end, that's how it looks at the moment. I have to mention that a blueprint is different from creating a clone. So what you use a blueprint for is you get a special link that you can provide to other people to make a copy of that exact website that you created without going through the technical setup, and they can have that website in their own ZipWP account. Here you make a clone of the website within your ZipWP account. And if you want to see how to create a blueprint with ZipWP, check the link right down in the description of this video. Imagine a scenario where you created a website with ZipWP and you have to change its PHP configurations. Well, it is possible. In some cases, it may be that the host requires you to have a certain PHP standard or version, and you may be wondering how you can change that within your ZipWP before you export that website to your host. When you come over here to sites, you have a list of all your websites, and you can come simply to the site that you want to export or that you want to change the version of PHP. For example, this website called Neumannhof clone. I'll come here to the 3 dots under actions, and I'll click on PHP configuration. And you see here we have a new window that pops up, and here we can select the PHP version of that website. So this website was created on PHP 7.4, but we can change that to PHP 8.0, 8.1, and 8.2. You cannot change this to a lower version than that because ZipWP is only providing the version PHP 7.4 as the lowest version and the highest version as 8.2. Not only your PHP configurations, but you can go ahead and also set up your SFTP logins or credentials. So when you click on this tab over here, you can set up to access and modify your websites using SFTP. And if you enable that option, here you'll have the host name, you'll have the username and the password and the port that you can use to access your website files using SFTP. So once you are done, make the changes, and that means that you can use these credentials to access the files of this website that we created using ZipWP. When you create a website using ZipWP, you have the option to mark that website as permanent or temporary. And in my ZipWP business account, I have the option to have up to 20 permanent websites. Of course, these are not websites that are able to go live in production or that I can use ZipWP as my hosting service provider, but I can have these websites for as long as I have the business account on ZipWP. Now, for other plans, you have different numbers of how many websites you can have as permanent. But the question is, how can you mark which website is permanent, or how can you change this setting? Because by default, ZipWP marks all the websites permanent if you have a business account. And if you have a free account, you cannot have really a permanent website on ZipWP. So for example, if I create this website, demo site in my free account, and I look here at the website, you see that this website will expire in 24 hours. Okay, so I cannot have a permanent website in the free account of ZipWP. But when I go to my business account, which is this, you see that I have a number of permanent websites, time to expire permanent. So for as long as my business account is active, I will be able to access these websites. But how can you mark a certain website temporary or permanent? So for example, if I want to make this website temporary and this website temporary, I'll just come over here and say mark temporary. That means I'll unstar that website. The same here, when I say mark temporary, I'll unstar that project and now it is temporary, and this will expire in 7 days. Why? Because if you have the ZipWP business account, your temporary websites take longer to expire, and that will be 7 days in this case. Now, how about if you want to create websites and they will be automatically temporary within your ZipWP business account or any other paid plan? Because in the business account, once you create a website project, in this case, I'm in the business plan, I create a website, automatically that website is going to be permanent. So in this case, demo 2 is marked permanent by default, but I don't want to have something like that. So I'm going to delete this site. And to be able to mark that all future websites will be by default temporary, I'll come over here to my account settings, and then I'll have to scroll down below here, preferences, and I'll have to change the status of a new website from permanent to temporary, and then I'll have to save changes. I come back here to the dashboard. Now, if I say create a new website and say create, now when I look at all the websites that I have, you're going to see that now this test site that I've created is automatically temporary because we have changed that option in ZipWP so that the default website that is created is temporary in our account. When you use ZipWP, you will be able to receive some notifications based on the action that you carry out in ZipWP. And in this video, I want to show you how to turn on or turn off some notifications in your ZipWP. Under account, called my account, and you have the option called notifications. We can edit these notifications. So we have site created notification, site expired, site deleted, blueprint failed. I can turn off these notifications by toggling this button, or I can, enable them just by the toggle and save changes. The challenge with ZipWP is that it's not giving us so many options or a number of options to disable or enable some notifications. Like for example, when I add a new team member, I'm not seeing that option, or if I remove a team member, or if a team member decides to leave being a team member. Or for instance, if a blueprint site has been created, then I would want to have a notification if a new blueprint has been created. Anyway, that's all it for the notifications in ZipWP. Let's look into on how to manage projects, or grouping your projects in a way that it makes sense within your ZipWP organization. So I'm in this organization, and there is an option called projects in ZipWP, and you see that I have a couple of projects, and these projects are basically to enable me to see or to know which websites belong to what project and what are those websites are about. So in this case, I have websites that are full site editing or marketing kind of websites, or testing kind of websites, or e-commerce kind of websites. So how do I create a project? To create a project, you just simply say create a new, and then I say example test sites. Then I have a new project called test sites. And if I want to edit the name of this project, I just simply say edit and say edit projects. Now, deleting the project doesn't mean that it will also delete the websites under that project. It will just make the websites not belong to any project. So let me go back here to my websites, and you see that I have some websites already kind of grouped: e-commerce, full site editing, and all that. So these are websites that are belonging to the already created project right over here. But we don't have any websites in the tests sites project. To add websites to that project, we are going to come here to all sites, and we are going to say add to project, or go to that website and say add to project, or the website that you want to add to that project, and then say test sites, or select the project where you want that website to be added. So I can as well add one here and say add to test sites. Of course, if you have not gone to the project site, you can as well create a project just here at the site's dashboard. So for instance, I can say create a new project here and say charity. All websites that belong to the charity project will be put under charity. So that is how it works. So if you ever wondered how you can group your projects, this is how you can do it, by creating a project category, and then you can assign your websites to that project. And if, for instance, I open the charity project, it will list the websites that are under that project. And that's it all about creating projects within your ZipWP account. Thank you so much for watching this video about the ZipWP tips and tricks. If there is a tip or trick you would want me to add in the video, please let me know down in the comments of this video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.